The HOA president claimed my bedroom lights were too bright, so she broke into my house weekly to turn them off herself. I didn't believe it until motion sensors caught her red-handed, crawling on the floor like a movie villain. This is the story of how I uncovered a secret weekly break-in by my neighborhood's self-declared queen, and how a few smart cameras, some patience, and a lot of quiet rage exposed one of the creepiest abuses of power I've ever seen. My name's Tyler. I moved into a quiet cul-de-sac a few months ago after landing a remote IT job. It seemed perfect, peaceful, green, and filled with retirees who mostly kept to themselves, except for one. Madam President Brenda. She introduced herself on day one wearing a badge that looked straight off a knockoff cop uniform. "I run things around here," she said with a forced smile. "Let me know if your grass gets more than 2 inches tall." I laughed. She didn't. Weeks passed without incident until I noticed something weird. My bedroom lights. I always turned them off before going to sleep. Always. But every Friday morning, I'd wake up and find them off, even though I remembered falling asleep with them on. The first time, I shrugged. Maybe I was tired and forgot. The second time, I started to wonder. The third, I replaced the bulb thinking it might be on some timer glitch. By the fifth time, I was straight up unsettled. And then one night, I stayed up late debugging code and heard something. Click. Creak. A soft creak from the hallway. I live alone. The hallway light was off. I froze, heart pounding. My bedroom door was cracked just slightly. I was certain I had closed it. I walked toward the door silently and saw a shadow move past the gap. I yelled and swung the door open, but the hallway was empty. The front door, still locked. I thought I was going crazy. That night I went online and ordered the full kit. Motion sensors, wireless cams, remote logs. I'm an IT guy, so setting up hidden devices wasn't hard. I installed a small motion sensor in my hallway, one in the living room, and a tiny 4K camera behind a shelf facing the main entry. The next Friday, I pretended to be asleep. Then, I reviewed the footage from my phone the next morning. What I saw chilled me. At exactly 2:43 a.m., the camera picked up movement by the front door. Then, get this, my keypad door lock beeped. Someone had the code. The door opened slowly, and in walked Brenda, dressed in all black. She shut the door behind her like she'd done it 100 times. Then she tiptoed, yes, literally on her toes, down the hallway, opened my bedroom door, just a crack, and turned off my bedroom light. She stood there for a moment, watching me. Thankfully, the camera couldn't see into the bedroom. Then she walked out, locked the door behind her, and disappeared into the night. It felt like a horror movie, except it was real. I had no idea how she got the code. I never gave it to anyone. That meant she'd either guessed it, or worse, had somehow accessed my smart lock settings. That day, I replaced the lock. New code. Full manual override. But I didn't go to the police yet. I wanted one more piece of evidence, so I set up a decoy. I left the light on again and made sure it was visible from the window. This time, I connected my smart speaker to the motion system. If someone entered, it would automatically start recording audio as well. And sure enough, next Friday at 2:47 a.m., motion detected. This time, Brenda did more than turn off the light. She stood in the doorway of my bedroom and muttered to herself, loud enough for the mic to catch, "Too bright. No one wants to see that. These tech kids, they bring weird energy." She then turned, looked directly into my shelf, adjusted a vase, right beside the hidden camera, and left. I reviewed it 10 times. She had no idea she was being watched. That morning, I went to the police with the footage, motion logs, and audio. They were stunned. "Why didn't you report this earlier?" The officer asked. "Would you believe me if I said the HOA president breaks in to turn off lights?" I replied. They opened a case and, surprise, found more than me. Turns out Brenda had key codes to 6 different homes in our neighborhood. She claimed it was for safety monitoring. One family said she rearranged furniture while they were at work. Another found sticky notes on their fridge with nutritional suggestions. She even adjusted someone's thermostat to save energy. Brenda was arrested within 48 hours. The charges? Trespassing, unlawful surveillance, and misuse of personal smart devices. Yep, she'd somehow accessed my smart lock app using a spoofed HOA email. The news spread like wildfire. HOA president breaks into homes to enforce her own rules. made the local headlines. She pled guilty in exchange for reduced sentencing, 6 months probation, community service, and a court order banning her from any HOA-related position. The HOA board was dissolved shortly after. Turns out she wasn't even officially appointed, just a self-declared interim president who never filed proper paperwork. Neighbors were shocked, some angry, some just weirdly relieved. "I always felt like someone had been in my house," one woman said. "Now I know I wasn't imagining things." As for me, I upgraded my whole security system, started helping neighbors with their own, and even gave a little seminar on how to lock down your smart home. My house is now probably more secure than a bank vault. The best part, I still have that video. And every time someone talks about how HOA Karens are just misunderstood, I just hit play and watch Brenda creeping around like a Scooby-Doo villain.